Hello and welcome, I'm Chris and this is Crackin' EDC, and on this week's video I'm going to be looking at the everyday tech that I carry and couldn't possibly live without. Now throughout the video as well you're going to see some other bits on the table that aren't really tech related, but if you've got any comments or questions then please put them in the comments box below. And don't forget, if you're new to the channel, like, subscribe and hit the notification button. Now, let's do it! First up, I generally will flip between a couple of bags depending on where I'm going and what I'm about to carry. I have a camera bag, I have a rucksack, and I have a nutsack sling bag. Generally at the moment I'm carrying the nutsack bag and maybe a small camera bag as well if I'm going out shooting a bit of B-roll. But the main thing that I have had for a little while and absolutely love and can't live without is the Lark water bottle. Now I have featured this on another video and it really is a staple now of my everyday carry. It keeps things cool, it keeps things hot, but the main advantage to it is that it has a UV purifying light. So by simply pressing one or two taps on the top, you can see that it activates the light. And it takes 30 seconds or 3 minutes, so one tap is 30 seconds, two taps is 3 minutes, and this purifies the water, killing up to 99.9% of bacteria. And it really does, I think, affect the taste of the water. I live in an area where it's quite heavily chlorinated, and I do feel it takes that chlorinated taste out of the water. Now they are a little bit steep at nearly £100, but it has encouraged me to carry and drink more water, and it has improved what I feel is the taste of it. Now to go along with all the tech, I have obviously some power banks and I have some solar panels. Yep, I've got some solar panels. Now these are by Sunjack and this is actually the smallest one. So the smallest one has 3 panels and it produces 15 watts of power. This is coated with obviously something that's going to protect it. It is like not waterproof but very resistant to outside wear and tear. And I carry this around with me just to top up or charge anything that I need to, such as the water bottle or the phone. It's just very handy to have, and when I go to the beach it's good to lay out. I also carry the larger one, which is again 3 panels, but this is 25 watts. But I carry this one in my get home bag in the back of my car. It's handy again just to have it in the back of the car. You can lay it out on your dash and maybe charge something up, or charge up a battery while you're out for a walk, out for a hike, so when you come back you've got a power supply there. Now on the back of this you have got a little compartment, so I keep a charging lead or multiple charging leads in there, and you also have a power bank as well, so you can charge either directly to your phone or you could charge the power bank up and then charge anything that you wanted off of this power bank. Really good. It's hard to estimate sort of charging times. We're in winter in the UK, so obviously not a lot of sunshine at the moment. So I'm hopefully off to Spain soon, so I'm going to take these out to Spain where it will be nice and sunny, and I'm going to do a side-by-side comparison when I'm out in Spain to see how long it takes to charge a phone with the 15 watts and how long it takes to charge a phone with the 25 watts. Again, everything that I talk about I'll place a link in the description below, so that if you want to go over and investigate these a bit more, you can. But very handy, very light, very durable, and when you need them, very useful. So of course I don't think you can talk about tech these days without mentioning a phone. They are a necessity, they are handy. I will sometimes take my MacBook with me as well if I just want to sit in a coffee shop and do a little bit more work than I can do on a phone, than answering emails, posting things to YouTube and Instagram. And if you're not following me on Instagram, don't forget to follow me. I'll put the link in the description below, but it's Crackin' EDC. Now for a very long time, for about 4 years, I was actually using the iPhone 8 and I've recently upgraded to the 11 Pro. Now there is a massive difference. I love the 8 Plus, I love the size of it, but this thing is much faster, the screen quality is much better, and the cameras on it are, well, incredible, especially if you want to maybe do some macro photography. I can actually get closer with the camera on this than I can with the cameras I'm using here, which is is quite impressive. I went for the 11, my partner actually has the 13. There's not a massive amount of difference, so really just to save a little bit of money, I went for the 11. And they are constantly, of course, updating phones. The 14 is due out this year, but I just felt this was ideal for the purposes that I use it for. And I do like my bits and bobs and gadgets, but because I'm sort of more based at home, I don't actually use my phone like I used to. So when I do go out, I take my MacBook Pro. I do take my MacBook Pro. It's a very old 2011 MacBook Pro, but it does what I need. On my main setup at home, I have the new Mac Mini with the M1 chip, and I spend more time on that. But it is nice to get out the house, to maybe sit in a coffee shop and just blow the cobwebs away as well. But when I do, as well as taking the MacBook with me, I do take my Logitech Mixmaster 3. Loads of people have raved about this on YouTube, and if you do a lot of work on a computer, it is an amazing mouse, very ergonomically comfortable. It side scrolls, so the button here allows you to side scroll if you're editing, and all the buttons are programmable, which means that you can put, if you're editing or if you're doing a lot of document work, you can make it the most comfortable and the most efficient for the purpose you're doing. In fact, for different programs within the software that comes with this, you can pick different buttons to do different things in different programs. It is very, very clever. Again, a little bit steep at sort of around the £100 mark, but like I said, it is worth it, and really nothing to sort of carry around. There's no weight to it at all. And if you do need some juice, again, you've got your chargers, you've got your power banks that you can just top it up. Charge on this holds a very long time, you know, a week if not more on a charge, using it at a reasonable sort of, I'd say a couple of hours a day at least using it. So battery life on this, very, very good. It is also reprogrammable. You can program it to up to 3 devices. So again, I will have it programmed on number 1 for my MacBook and number 3 for my Mac Mini. So that's just a nice, just to be able to chop and change between devices, makes it really, really easy. Now again, something that I won't carry with me absolutely every day, but I do use this every day, is my keyboard. There are lots of keyboards about and you can pay a very lot of money. I found this one, it's by Red Dragon. Again, it's rechargeable, it's backlit, it's got nice clicky keys, which I like. It's just a 70% keyboard. I don't have the need for a full-size keyboard because I can use the mouse for anything else that I'm set up. Again, it is Bluetooth, so there's no wires cluttering up the desk. With all the mics and cameras, I have a lot of wires on the desk. This was very reasonable. This was only £40 for this, and it is fantastic. It is absolutely brilliant, and again, it has 3 options on it. So I can switch over from my MacBook to my Mac Mini, and that's just a really nice feature. And for something that is so inexpensive, I've had no issues with it on battery life. I've had no issues with it on connectivity. It really is an absolute star piece for the price. So if you need a little keyboard, and not a lot of weight to this either, so when I do want to take it out, if I want to sit in the shop, if I want to sit in a coffee shop and not tap away on the MacBook and have this and my mouse to just make things a little bit more ergonomical, I can, and it really doesn't weigh anything down. For the last one, this one is a little bit unusual and people might sort of think, well, why? But I actually have an electric scooter. Now, I keep the electric scooter in the back of my car with my get home bag. Electric scooters in the UK, there is a bit of a legal issue. Legally, currently, you are not allowed to ride an electric scooter in a public place. So it stays in the back of the car. If I go somewhere, whether it's private land or I can use it, then it's always in the back of the car for me to use. but also as well by it being in the back of the car, should I have a breakdown or an emergency where the car gets stuck or anything, I can actually take the scooter out of the back of the car, and then I've got a means to either get home or maybe get to a petrol station to get a mechanic or a can of petrol. And these things are phenomenal. I don't quite understand why the government is dragging their feet so much on the legislation with these. They're piloting schemes across the UK where you can hire them, but for personal use, they seem to be very slow to act. These things are absolutely great. They only do like 15.5 miles an hour, but they are a lot of fun. And I think to legislate them, to make sure maybe you were just 16, you ride them in the road, you have a helmet and you have insurance. These things are ideal for a lot of purposes, even just school runs and stuff like that, to reduce the congestion. And of course they're electric and they're saving the environment. So yeah, this is quite a new addition, but something that I'm really finding very useful. Okay, so as you can see on the table, I've got some bits and bobs, some new knives that I'm trialing out, levels, a lovely pen tray here as well. These will all be linked in the description below, but these are things that are coming up in future videos. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, leave a comment below, and I will try to answer, and I will see you next time.